Welcome to the Bizarre and the Unknown. I am your host, E.D. Testerman. I am an author and investigator. I am also a researcher into the unknown. Join me as we dive together into this bizarre and the unknown universe. Do you believe in UFOs and aliens, things that fly in the sky and in our oceans? Do you hear things that go thump at night, or do you see things that you cannot explain? Do you believe in Shiai Tonka, Bigfoot, Sasquatch, Booger, and so many more? Join me on my adventures as I investigate this stuff that's out there. Let's learn how to guard ourselves and protect the things out there that need our protection. I'm a United States Marine and United States Army veteran. I love my country and have served it proudly. And I want to give a special thanks to all the veterans and first responders. Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of The Bizarre and the Unknown. We are approaching on episode 50. We're currently at 47. Hey Demos, how's it going? Hey Ozzy Sue, how are you doing? Yeah, you did. Hey, no worries, man. Good to have you in here. We're at episode 47. So we're approaching to episode 50 soon. I don't know. I might have to do something. Today we're going to talk a little bit about the Black Shuck. I'll hide my face for a second. Just give you a kind of good look. This is the I created this image for today's show. That there is a common depiction of what they say. They see the hey Tim, how's it going? Suzanne, how's it going? Ontario, Canada, cool. So that was the common depiction people say when they see the Black Shuck. Now, the Black Shuck, or what the description of the Black Shuck is, not necessarily the Black Shuck itself, has ties to different civilizations around the world. I mean, the Wild Hunt through Norse mythology even talks about black ghostly dogs that follow them. In English is where the term Black Shuck, Old Shuck, or Old Shock, or just Shuck came from. That was from English folklore. And I was trying to remember I was looking on here because I forgot the name of the two chapels that it had attacked in England. And that's why I was kind of briefly looking over here and almost lost track of my time. So according to the Oxford English Dictionary, the name Shuck derives from the Old English word shuka, meaning devil, fiend. Perhaps the root word of shuh, to terrify. The first mention of the print of the Black Shuck is by Reverend E.S. Taylor in 18. Why are you starting to pop crap up? That's probably the reason why my daggone thing. Yeah. Well, on William's show this morning, I apologize for that coughing. I got something down the wrong tube there. There's always some ghostly figures like the Mothman and stuff like that. Sometimes they're depicted as harbingers of doom. The other times they're like protectors. Well, the Black Shuck is in that same category. And throughout a lot of civilizations, you'll find similar stuff that is very close to that. But in 1850 was when the first talk. Hey, Firewater, how's it going? As when the first time the Black Shuck was talked about, and it was said to have came with a storm. Then it attacked this monastery and unalived a few people, and then 12 miles away, right after it attacked another one and left. Oh, I forgot to. Oh, I can't believe I did that. I meant to show you a picture of the monastery door that it attacked. It's still got marks on it to this day from it. I've been outside working on my truck and working on my porch. The Black Shuck is a legendary black dog from English folklore that is said to have attacked a church door in Blythburgh, Suffolk. The claw marks from this dog's attack still, yeah, that's the picture I'm wanting right there. If I can get this blowed up, I'll share it. If I can get this to do it. I don't want the picture, daggone it. Let me do it this way. Yeah, I can do it this way. Awesome. Try to get it blowed up here where I can see it. I mean, and the Black Shuck is still very prominent in a lot of the culture to this day over there in England. This is not pulling the picture up that I want. I want the picture. I don't want the deal here. Why are you not giving me just the picture? Yeah, I'll just go ahead and share what I got here and kind of go over it with you. Let's see if I can't zoom in or something. So this door right here, these marks were left by the Black Shuck. And that's supposedly because it was talking about the claws on fire. You know, some myths will tell you that was a dog that had burned up in the fire. Some myths will tell you it was a dog that was waiting on his owner that had drowned. I mean, there's several myths behind how the Black Shuck came about. But these marks is what they're talking about, and this is still on there to this day. Is these black marks from where this Black Shuck had attacked that monastery door right after it attacked. It went in here. Some of the legends tell you that it went in here unalived a couple more, and then jumped into somebody. And you know, this is where the whole werewolf side of it comes in. That is not the most common that's talked about. Hey, Virginia Cryptid. Hey, Kevin, how's it going? You know, so we got plenty of stories that's talking about okay, I was wrong. So it was first written about in 1850. The first sighting was 1577. I knew something didn't seem right. That's why I kind of paused there for a minute. But it had, unlived several people at one time. So, and then there's other accounts, and they're still getting sightings to this day of the Black Shuck over in England and over in East Anglia. Is it East Anglia, I believe? If memory serves me correctly. It's been a little while. And I was trying to get caught up on it earlier, but I was fighting my porch that these goats had destroyed, trying to get that thing resecured so I don't fall down. And then working on it. And sometimes they're depicted as having a single red eye. Hey, Freaky. Sometimes they're depicted having two red eyes. I mean, the accounts vary from encounter to encounter. Now, there has been several reports lately through, the centuries, I should say. And I shouldn't say lately. I should say through the centuries of them protecting people from harm. Like a little girl was being pursued by a priest in a freaky. How do I put this YouTube friendly wise? The priest didn't have good intentions in his mind for this young girl, and the Black Shuck actually came out and ran them off. There's actually two of them, and protected that little girl. There was one not too long ago. I think it was 1940s, 1950s, somewhere around in there, where a guy was riding his bicycle down a road and he heard chains rattling. Yeah, and I've got to keep it YouTube friendly freaky. So we'll just leave that in there. We can talk if anybody wants to know what I'm talking about. You can look it up, or we can talk behind the scenes about it. But it's not good. And anyways, he heard this chain rattling going on, looked over, seen this ghostly figure of a black dog. So he kind of stopped to let it pass. And when he did, this car was way out of control, came shooting around this curve. And if he would not have stopped, he had been there right in that curve and that car would have got him. So there's another account right there to Black Shuck saving someone's life yet again. Yeah. Yeah. That's it wasn't good. So yeah. Um so there's also reports of them stopping people from other different types of hazardous situations too. So I mean, is this something that I kind of hinted on William's show this morning? Have we got a yin and yang type of Black Shuck, one that wants to cause harm, or one that is trying to save people? Is this two different entities being misidentified? That is also a possibility on that. Another possibility: the people that it did take out, maybe they done something wrong. I mean, it's strange how they did it inside of a church, but I mean, nevertheless, it happened, and they could have done something that wasn't. They could have done something to upset the spirits of the area. Hey, Susan. Yeah, and I was just kind of cautious because I've just got to where I'm monetized, where I can start earning money on YouTube. So I'm still learning. I even have to be a little bit more careful than I was before what I talked about. So that's why I kind of like, you know, hey Dexter Cryptid. Um, that's why it's kind of like, hey, we'll just say for another situation. Um, I read one time that there are different black dogs by different. Well, I mean, you got to think, Roxanne. These black dogs, even in Black Shucks. Hey, Larry, are even put in the same line as these devil dogs or these demon dogs or dogs of hell. Some classify Severus in there. I don't. To me, that's a completely different entity, but that's my opinion. Some people may want to. I mean, that more power to you. I'm not going to tell you you're wrong and I'm right, or I'm right and you're wrong, or you're wrong or right and I'm wrong. I'm not going to do that, but it's to me, just because of the presence of the thing, it's different. Severus is looked at differently than the Black Shuck. But even in the United States, we have hellhounds, and you listen to the description of the hellhounds, they sound just like this Black Shuck. I mean, so we're seeing this throughout different civilizations. And then, like I said earlier, I mean, look at Norse mythology. The wild hunt. When the wild hunt is seen going across the western skies, it's said they are followed by these black ghostly dogs. Some will tell you they're dogs from hell, hellhounds. Number of heads will do that with looks. Um, so you can see the simulation throughout all different cultures and all different countries of having these very similar things. The ones that follow Odin are known to snag people up just as much as the hunters that's saying come and hunt with us, and they'll drop you off at another location, or you're never seen from again, or you're asked to join. These hellhounds that follow Odin, they're known to snag people up, and it's not an omen of good. It's an omen of bad. That's why they tell you when you see the wild hunt going through across the winter sky, you need to hide. Don't make yourself visible, or they'll get you. Well, in this instance here, is like I said. I mean, there was 4 unalives and 1 possession in a 1-day time frame. Oh, there's devil dogs in the Canadian Maritimes. I didn't know that. I know we're called a devil dog. I'm a Marine. We're known as a devil dog, but I didn't know. That's cool. I need to look into that, Susan. I eyeball these two hunters until they leave. Heck yeah, Larry. You know, um, the one with the one red eye. Could that be at a distance? It looked like it had one eye when it actually had two, or is it a completely different industry entity? Which is this is what they're talking about with the one eye. Oh, I accidentally exited out of there. Daggone it! I gotta get back up again. This is what when they talk about seeing the one eye. This is it here. And you see there's similarity between them. Hammerson Peters, the Canadian historian. I need to look into that, Susan. Yeah, it does. But I mean, this is another common depiction of the Black Shuck. They really are. You know, let's see if I can get. This is one of the writings on it. Let's see if I can. Oh, it's not going to let me enlarge it. Daggone it. Okay, it's not going to let me in. A terrible wonder wrought. Very. That's hard to read on this little thing here. Very late into the Perth Church of Bungay as a tavern of no great defiance or front the cities. I can't read, man. I can't enlarge it where I can read it very good. But I mean, this is E.D. Hammerson has good videos. Yeah, I mean that thing is. I mean, honestly, I don't know what I would do if I'd run into an entity like that. Let's see if I can pull up. And like I said, this is the one that I created, but I mean I created it just for the show, but it fits the description really close. And it's talking about being shaggy or ghostly, black fur, red eyes. This is the common. Sometimes two, sometimes one eye. So if I can get scrolled down here to where I can find it. I've got some. I've been creating photos for the next dream release. There you are. And I'm trying to get stuff off my computer, see if it'll run. Hammerson silly. Hammerson has good videos. Yeah. I need to look into it. I really do. I need to remember that. I'm waiting on this thing to load up. But I'm seeing if I can get some of this research off of my computer, if it'll help it run a little bit smoother. All right. I'm just still going to take. So, no. Fenrir is a completely different thing. Fenrir is the son of Loki and Angrboda, the Jotnar, which they're both Jotuns. Loki's a Jotun too. People forget that. Loki is a Jotun. He's not an Asgardian. He's not he's not an Aesir. He's not a Volnir. He's a Jotun. But he was married to an Aesir and was having relations and was married to a Jotnar as well behind people's back. And Odin found out about it. So Fenrir is the great wolf. They're actually kind of different. But this one here, this is very common. Very, very common with the depiction of people see in the Black Shuck. Oh, no worries, Firewater. All good. But yeah, Fenrir is different. Now, Fenrir has several offsprings. Um, there's one that chases the sun, there's one that chases the moon, but in Ragnarok is when Fenrir will, when the sons of Fenrir will eat the sun and the moon, and Fenrir will take out Odin, and a lot of the old gods will be gone, just as long with the um, reanimated corpses of the dead from hell, and Loki will bring about Ragnarok. Loki and his offsprings. I'm out of the cryptic closet now, and my roommate now likes to learn about the stuff. Well, that's cool. Firewater, ain't nothing wrong with that. So the reports on this thing is it goes anywhere from a very large dog, almost like Great Dane, to horse size. There's two different sizes on this thing that they talk about seeing all the time. So it kind of varies. So you just kind of figure Great Dane to horse size, and you're pretty much right in that category of the Black Shuck. And I think could that be because there's more than one? That is a possibility. Is it because they're being misidentified? Well, you got to put the fear factor into it. The fear factor, whenever you're afraid and something's, yeah, Jeff, that's a big boy. Yeah. You got to figure that when you got the fear factor involved, your sense of measurements and distances, both on height, distances, weights, even description, when your stress levels are through the roof like they are on a counter like this, can very easily cause you to misinterpret something. So is that why we're getting two different sizes? I'm going to say it's probably a good bet on it. There's a documentary that talks about when different people came across it. I think in 1950. Yeah, there's been several. There's reports to this day of it. There still is reports to this day of seeing the Black Shuck. That is not uncommon. What the heck was that? Wow. I have no idea what's going on here. Huh. My computer screen over here just done some wicked stuff. East Anglia, that's right. Yeah, I was in East Anglia. It's where it's been, where it's known at. And East Anglia is known as the area of the Black Shucks. That's where most of your sightings come from. I'm trying to remember the name of the two churches. They had the one, but I want the other one as two. And that's why I'm kind of glancing over here, because I can't remember the names of the churches. If you haven't already, hit that like, subscribe, and share button. Let's build this amazing universe. Question for SSP dogs, soldiers. Used for SSP, no. I can't rule out the possibility they may have learned how to get one or manufacture one. I don't know. That's a good question, Susan. If this is a supernatural entity, the possibility of them actually capturing one, it's low, but I can't say no. Supernatural entities are that's a whole different deal than a flesh and blood creature. Far as trying to trap there is very few evidence of anything supernatural. Probably more so paranormal though, but very little on the supernatural side of something being captured. You can do it. There is accounts throughout history of doing it, but things nowadays. Now, if they learned how to do it from the past, I can see that. Hey, Demiria, did I miss you? I'm sorry. Oh, I did. I'm sorry, Demiria. I was looking through something. I missed you. How you doing today? Now, the Black Shuck is known to roam the borders of East Anglia. So, and this is where I kind of was hinting at this morning. Is this a guardian? Is this Black Shuck an actual guardian? Because the only place on the English side of it that you see it is East Anglia East Anglia, and it's been reported multiple times as patrolling the borders of East Anglia. It patrols the coast and it patrols the outlines of what East Anglia used to be. I mean, East Anglia is gone now, obviously, but in a way, in a sense, because it's all united. But this is where all the reports come from on it. Oh, pumpkin pie sounds good. And I've snacked a little today. I have been busy. I've had company over doing repairs, and I've not had. I did stop long enough to watch the game, and that's about it. That's pretty much it. Um, let's see here. It is seen in the coastlines, countrysides of East Anglia, in particular graveyards, side roads, and bodies of water and dark forests. And these are all the locations where you're going to find them at. Oh, banana bread. Oh my Lord. Oh my God. Come on. I love warm banana, fresh from the oven. Slather some butter on that thing, sprinkle a little bit of salt on it. Oh, that's some good eating. I need to learn how to how to make that. My mouse is doing its own thing. Pumpkin pie is good. It's not one of my favorites, but it is good. My favorite, hands down, is pecan pie. And I love my pecan pie. But I can't dispute. There it is. Okay, here's one. Okay, the infamous appearance August 4th, 1577, in Bungay, and that's it. Bungay, that was the other one I was trying to remember. Blytheburg have been well documented, and images of the sinister black dog have become synonymous with the area ever since. He is said to have run up the nave at the Holy Trinity Church in Blytheburg, past the sizable congregation, unaliving a man and a boy, and causing the church steeple to collapse through the roof. As the dog ran off, he left scorching marks on the north door, which can still be seen at the church today. The Black Shuck is also supposed to have been seen on the same day at St. Mary's Church. That's okay, St. Mary's Church. That's another one I was trying to remember. I need to learn how, man. Sadly, my mom ain't around no more, so I don't get none of that good stuff like pumpkin pie, zucchini, or banana bread, zucchini bread. Yeah, hey Kevin, yeah. Jalapeno cornbread with jalapeno jelly is good, Roxanne. I got to give you this daggone thing is being weird. St. Mary's Church in Bungay, there was a terrifying thunderstorm such as darkness, rain, hail, thunder, and lightning, the like of which has never been seen before. During the storm, the beast is said to have set upon the congregation, unaliving at least 2 people. So, I mean, that was the 4 I was talking about earlier. He had 2 in each of the church locations, and they're 12 miles apart. These churches were 12 miles apart, and it was all boom, boom, boom. I mean, simultaneously. During the 1920s and 1930s, there were reports from the fishermen of the Sheringham hearing Sheringham hearing a hound howling on the cliff tops during stormy nights. As recently as 1970, a sighting of the Black Shuck in Great Yarmouth made the headlines. In 1980, a young woman claimed to have met the hound whilst walking with her young son near Wisbeck. In the village of Overstand, to this day, there is still a road called Shuck's Lane, named after the Norfolk hellhound. Another of the hound tracks runs through the what today is Mill Lane and into the grounds of Cromer Hall. It is said that this particular locality was the inspiration behind Sir Arthur Conan Doyle's Hounds of the Bakersville. He had visited the area on a golfing holiday, and although the original film is set in Dartmoor, there are scenes in the film which can quite imagine as having some semblance to the area with Cromer Hall. So you're seeing pepper, yeah, jalapeno jelly and cream cheese is good on a good rich cracker. I have not seen the movie. I have not seen the movie. That's something I'm gonna have to look into. You know, most of my knowledge on this comes from Norse mythology, although I have heard it from the English side quite often. Most of mine has been through Norse mythology. That's why I was trying to hurry up and refamiliarize myself with it, but sadly I got sidetracked with chores. Oh man, pepper jelly, it's good. Gotta use rich crackers. Yes, yes. What are you doing? Hey, you better not chew on those or I'm going to chew on your head. Those ain't chew toys. You know better. Sorry, he's sniffing and looked like he was getting ready. I'm charging up my GoPro and my camcorder for when I go out and do an investigation soon. So I've got these wires stuck up here, and I got one plugged my phone, and he's over there, and he has a problem with chewing on cords. So I love spicy stuff. I love spicy stuff. I like jalapeno, cheddar, venison, summer sausage. Any kind of summer sausage, really, it's got that in it. I like that stuff. You know, stuff jalapenos and stuff. I love spicy stuff. Oh, you lucky, Jeff. You're lucky, buddy. Um, Outside of that, I mean, that's pretty much. They do try to tie like Egyptian mythology in with that stuff and some other things, but my opinion, something different. You would be surprised. No, I'm not being mean to Snow. I don't know where he's at. That was Boar trying to eat my cords. Yeah, that's good stuff. That's really good stuff. I want to look at this Sulphate Coast one because it's got that writing that I was trying to read earlier. If I can get a way to blow that up, I would love to be able to blow that up and read it. I got to have a mixture of both. Yeah, they still hold festivals to this day concerning the Black Shuck. I mean, they've got a weather vane with the Black Shuck on it. I mean, they still go. Why won't you? I can read part of it, but it won't give me the full thing where I can read it. That's aggravating. Susan's question: do we know the earliest encounter? 1577 in England. 1577 is what they were talking about was the first, and that was at Bungay at Blytheburg in East Anglia. That was one of the first ones when it went inside of. It collapsed the steeple through the roof, unalived a couple people, ran out. Hey, Urso, ran out and went to another one 12 miles away and unalived a couple more. Now, like I said, there is some accounts. I mean, not very many. There is some accounts after the second time it unalived a couple people and jumped into the body of someone else and took over them and turned them into a werewolf. There's just not enough of that for me to jump on board and say that's what actually happened. More accounts than not, it talks about how it ran off. It wasn't seen again, and shortly after it left, the storms left with it. And these storms that happened when it came about were storms that is never been seen before. So, I mean, but the storms are only been associated mainly with those two churches back in 1577. Now, there's a lot of speculations. A lot of people will tell you that the reason why it did it to them two churches because it was rebelling against the Christianity coming in and overtaking. I hate this term, but it's what people knows. Pagan, getting rid of the church coming in, getting rid of the pagan ways. A lot of people don't realize the bell tower is a symbolization of a fire, in pagan rituals. So the church, the bell tower on the churches, that's what that represents. It's a big fire. Now the tones of the bell is also used to ward off evil spirits. Obviously, it didn't work that day for them. Well, and that's a very good point. I mean, we know storms in the paranormal side gives energy because the static electricity in the air gives ghost energy to interact more. Just like limestone, granite, running water, it does the same thing. It's like a battery to them. Electrical storms are the same way. So that is possible. But there has been numerous amount of Black Shuck encounters, and the storm hasn't preceded it. It was only during this two times here that it had. So that leads me to believe that either A, the storm was a projection of its anger towards what the Christians were doing to the land, or B, it was something different. And it wasn't the actual Black Shuck. Or it was the actual Black Shuck, and what everybody else is seeing nowadays is not the true Black Shuck. I mean, all those are very good possibilities. Yeah, I mean, good. I don't know. I know the psychic ability runs in my family quite a bit. My great grandmother Smith, funny enough, she was full-blooded Cherokee and she was racist against Native Americans. It was funny as hell. But she can have her back turned to you. You won't tell her what you're looking for, and she'll tell you exactly where it is, and she knows what you're looking for, where it is, and tell you where it is at. Never. She's always been that way. And she was 100% Native American, or full-blooded Cherokee, and that was my great grandmother Smith. Sadly enough, a lot of my Smith family is into the dark arts. A lot of dark arts comes from my Smith family. I do have some Testermans, like I shared the other day for the first time, about my grandpa, my mom's mom, but. That's a story for another time. Hey, Christy. Hi from downstairs. I guess I'm upstairs. Well, hey, no, I'm in two places at one time. Ooh, I'm upstairs and downstairs. I'm supernatural, baby. Not so perfect. How's it going, bud? Good to have you in here, Christy. I hope you enjoy it. So, I mean, it's hard to say. I mean, is it a supernatural being that is striking out against Christianity, taking over all the other religions? That is definitely possible. I mean, I can't dispute it. We know there is documented reports of stuff like this happening throughout a lot of civilizations that Christianity was coming in and taking over. That very well could have what happened that day. Very well could have been. Could it have been a something else? Yeah, I mean, you have to think about this type of stuff because I'm like, okay, look how many times something is misidentified all the time. We get stuff misidentified. We do it as investigators and researchers. So does mainstream science and historians. They do it all the time as well. So you have to take it. I mean, I'm going to stick by what my research tells me, but I will never say that my research won't lead me another path. It has done that before. You know, on a few occasions where I've felt strongly because this is what everything led to. Um, but later on, the more I dug into it, the more I start realizing, okay, well maybe it is this way, you know. So you have to consider that. Uh, Miss V, who did I miss? Did I miss somebody coming in? If I missed you, I'm sorry. Hello, if I missed you. Bearded egg. Or Brett. No, bearded egg. Okay. Yeah. Oh man, now you got me wanting some. Ooh, some deviled egg sounds good. Um, Now the Black Shuck is also mentioned in a movie. I think it was The Conjuring. If I remember correctly, I think it was called The Conjuring, where its essence was trapped into the book. It had got trapped in there and left claw marks on the cover of the book. And then this boy or this girl unknowingly opened it and released it. I need to look into it. I think that was The Conjuring. Oh, could it be Conjured? I don't know. I have not found anything to suggest to me that it could be. I can't rule that out, though. I mean, we are looking at something supernatural. It very well could be. Oh, heck yeah, man. Um, I've not found anything documenting that it can be conjured. But I'm not going to say that it can't. I can't leave that out. I'd do you a disservice if I left that out. This because principle, it's supernatural. And look how many supernatural things can be conjured. So if these other supernatural entities can be conjured for good or bad, this thing very well could be as well, if it is a supernatural entity. If you call and project to it, it can be lured. Can it? See, I've never found anything on that, so I wasn't for sure. So sorry if somebody's. My phone has not stopped ringing all day. So, I mean, definitely possible. I'll call him when I get done. Um, I need to look more into that. That is possible. I need to see if I can find. I have not been able to yet. Actually, let's see if I can find something on a quick search here. Okay, according to the AI, because that was the first thing that popped up. Yes, the Black Shuck is a hellhound from Norfolk folklore that can be conjured. Um, the appearance of Black Shuck is a black dog with fiery eyes in the middle of its head. The Black Shuck is considered malevolent and is said to terrify or unalive people. Some say that seeing the Black Shuck is a warning that you will die before, or you'll be unalive before the end of the year. The Black Shuck is said to have interpreted or interrupted a burial and a family's grief. One of the most celebrated acts of terror was in the Bungay on August 4th, 1957. The Black Shuck has been sighted in the past, including in Great Yarmouth in 1970 and near Wisbeck in 1980. The Black Shuck is also known as the Old Shuck or Black Shuck. So according to the AI thing, it was. So yeah, there's possibility. I'll have to look into that some more. With the fiery red eyes, yeah, it either has one. It's described as having one and two. So man, yeah. Christy said that she about when you said hello to her. Don't do it, Christy. That would make a stinky mess. Trust me, I've been scared to do that kind of stuff here lately. I've had some bad stomach pains, like somebody sticking a knife in my gut and twisting it, and it's not been a fun couple of days for me. So I mean, if this is AI overview. So I mean, it was on Google. So according to Google can be conjured. So I'm gonna conjured. So I'm gonna have to look into that some more. I don't really want to trust AI, but AI is known to be leaking some truth. So I mean, it's before terrorizing Junie Warren in 1972. The Black Shuck was a centuries-old historian. Okay, so I mean, there's more accounts there of it terrorizing people. So I mean, it could be conjured up to terrorize somebody. But also, there's several reports of it protecting people too. Grim C from the 5th edition SRD. Grim rituals can summon a black shuck to terrorize individuals or even a whole family, compelling it to hunt and um, bulgar them and their household. Huh. Let's see, omens of death. It is generally agreed that black shuck can appear and dissipate at will, with some people holding it can form as a sublime into a mist. Yeah, I forgot about that part. It's been known to reappear appear from a mist and disappear into a mist. Trying to see if there's any other accounts of it being conjured. In Norfolk, Suffolk, Lincolnshire, and the northern parts of Essex, a black dog known as a Black Shuck. Black Dog of East Anglia. I believe I could be wrong. I believe the 1971 was the one that saved that bicycle, that dude on the bicycle. I can't remember off the top of my head. Ooh, I'm out of water. That ain't no good. I ain't got no drinks with me. Hey, boy, I feed you, water you, love on you. Oh, gosh, no. Well, you can do it too. I do all that stuff for you too. Can you go get me some water? What? You're just staring at me wagging your tail. Come on. Oh, dude, your breath stinks. You've been out eating goat poop again. Nasty. I'm trying to see Conjuring Universe. Let me pop this up. Oh, Villains Wikipedia. I don't know if I want to trust Villains Wikipedia. Oh, that's from Fandom. Next to the heck no. Oh, never mind. So that stuff I was reading on the Conjuring all came. Several different things are putting it towards fandom, and I'm not a fan of fandom. So I need to look on some other sources. This is the one that. Oh, that sounds like a game. But yeah, parrot dog's finally here. We were doing good having the door. It's been such a beautiful day. I've had my front door open while I've been out working. And then the goats decided they want to hop my gate and come in my house. So I had to chase goats out of my house and off my porch because they think that that's where they got to be. So sadly, I had to shut my door. Oh, it sucks. It's been a beautiful day out. It's been a really beautiful day out. See, I need to look into some more stuff. I'm sorry, I didn't realize that stuff said. I should have looked at it closer. When it says fan doom, I get away from it. Um, Entities, Conjuring Universe. So a lot of this stuff is talking about video games and movies when it comes to conjuring them. I'm trying to find something outside of that stuff that talks about it, but I'm just not finding it. I'll look. I'll get you a better answer. Even though it rained some, it's very mild for this. Yeah, it was, man. It was. I don't know what the temperature was. I'd say mid to high 60s today. I mean, it was beautiful out. And sadly, because I can't venture far from the house for certain reasons, I didn't go out in the deer woods today. I haven't been able to all weekend. So it kind of sucks. I try to enjoy it the best I can. Yeah, I mean and we've had some 30s already. We've had some 30s already. I mean, it's that time. I forgot to go down and make sure my dang space heater's on in the wheelhouse. I knew I forgot to do something today. Just like conspiracy theories, some games have a bit of truth to them, and that's true. You're absolutely right, Freaky. But more often than not, it's there's no truth to what they say at all. They just make something up. They'll take bits of truth and then create their own thing. That's why I'm not a fan of fandom. That's why I'm not a fan of video game as far as references and learning stuff. Because they're notorious for going, oh man, you see that little white dog right there in that dude's arm? He's usually cool, but when you turn your back, he's this big snarling monster. He transforms. I mean, they're famous for doing that stuff. Snow's not that way, but it is, what it is. So, that's why I don't like them. Yeah, I don't want to. I had that happen last winter. I'm still not recovered from it. I mean, I fixed it, got it going to the main house, but I've cut off supplies to other places. And because of this great economy, I've not had the money to go in and properly fix it or to rebuild the whole thing. Because I need to rebuild the whole well house. I can see it popped up here. Give me a second, Roxanne, and then when it pops up on this side where I can look at it, it's hard for me to read it on the computers. There we go. Did you find somewhere that if it was described something with curly horns on the shuck? No, I did not. No, I did not. It skewed badly. Yeah. It is, but I wouldn't have it any other way. I mean, I've got an artesian well. I'm in the lower water aquifer, so I've got some of the cleanest water around. I mean, it cost us a mint back in the early 2000s to get it put in, because up until then, the late 90s, up until no, I'm sorry, I lied to you. I'm sorry. The late 90s is when we had it put in. From the mid to the late 90s, we were bucketing water from a 5-gallon bucket into a 500-gallon kettle water, and that's how we had water. We go to the local creek or river, bucket water in there. Up until we found out that we can go to the water tower and get water, which was great from then on because it sucked breaking ice at the river in the wintertime just to get some water. And you froze your butt off doing it. And then finally we got enough money to get the well put in. So, I mean, I wouldn't have it any other way. I have a wheel. There's a great invention that I invented called the wheel. And that's how I get around, Freaky. Oh, I meant to go on there today and change that. Give a Black Friday or give a holiday code. I need to do that this week. I need to get onto my merch store here and provide a code for the holidays. Yeah, and that's the thing. I don't have that chlorine. I don't have that fluoride in my water. I wouldn't have it any other way. Yeah, I'm not in on any of that. That's why I love my artesian well. I recall driving a few miles to fill 5 gallon buckets for water to do dishes for and floor bathing and then some. Yeah, I mean I've taken baths in a metal pan in our kitchen floor in the wintertime. In the summertime, we had a water blivet that we could heat up. We put on the hood of a truck in the sun and heat it up, and um, we had old sheets pinned up around trees on top of pallets, and we literally in the summertime we just take a shower outside. I've been known to hop in a river and a lake and take a bath too in the summertime. Yeah. So I mean, we didn't we didn't have a bathroom, so we made an outhouse, and we used an outhouse for a long time because we had no running. We lived in a travel trailer, and there was one bathroom. Well, we didn't have running water to be able to go to the bathroom in the travel trailer, so we literally had to dig holes and build an outhouse, put it over that hole. When it got full, we filled that hole up, dug another one, and put it over that. We did that for a long time. And I can tell you, you really, in the wintertime, back when we actually had winters, um, you'll lay there on a cold floor going, do I really need to get up and go poop that bad? Did I need to walk out in all that snow and that freezing cold to make a poop sickle? And I can tell you guys firsthand, poop sickles exist. They definitely do. It makes you wonder. Springtime, summer, part of the fall, you're looking for snakes and spiders. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I love my well. I'm out in the boonies, man. I live out in the middle of nowhere. Oh, top of the hour. Thank you, Roxanne. Let's visit a very good company called Dark. If you're looking for the best trauma kits or first aid kits around, look no further than Dark Angel Medical. I don't get paid for advertising his stuff. I love his product so much that I asked him, and I created that commercial just to advertise his product because I love it a lot. For now, you can use cryptic code 20, which is DA's code for 20% off. It is FSA and HSA friendly, so you can use that to buy your kits through Dark Angel Medical. And Kerry Pocket Doc Davis is the godfather of Kits for Life. He came out with Kits for Life. So if you use it to save your life and you let him know about it and you show him the stuff, whatever you used, he replaces for 100% free. You can also go to YouTube and scroll down for me, baby, and Instagram to Dark Angel Medical, and he has videos on there to show you how to use his kits. They are expensive because they're the best kits you can buy on the market. So if you can't afford to pay for one out of pocket, they do like I do. I use Sezzle. You can use Sezzle to buy your Dark Angel Medical kits. I've been known to take self sometimes just to sake of just yeah. I've had to do that quite a bit, Corey, in the military. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. In the military, it's good to see you in here, buddy, too. But you got me in stereo. Yeah, I've had to do that. I mean, I've done it now a time or two too. I don't like perfume stuff on me during deer season, so I'm always trying to find something that doesn't have a perfume scent to it. You got him in stereo. I got him on the telly. You guys are awesome, man. Um, I was trying to. I can't find anything up on Conjuring unless it deals with the movie. So I guess I was right. It was the Conjuring that it was in, and video games or games. Period. So I'll look into it some more, Susan, and see what I can find. Um, so outside of that, dude, you better not puke on my computer desk. You and me will be fighting. Nope, go on. Nope, we're not doing that. I have enough issues with my computer. I don't want you puking on it. Well, it's helpful during a certain time of year. That time has passed, but unfortunately. But I have used it. It definitely has a unique smell to it. I've also used cone pest to mask my scent too, which has worked. I have used that to mask my scent. Well, I don't know, man. There's the old folklore: if you get stung by the jellyfish, you pee on it, get rid of it. Same with Athley's foot. I don't know, freaky. I don't know, buddy. It may have some benefits. Aroma like roses. Heck yeah, man. I assure you that no human woman will go near you. I don't know, man. I know some chicks that they sprayed on them during deer season too. So you never know, man. I mean, I've had some, some country girls, I've been out hunting with, and they'll get on it and they'll spray that on themselves too. So it probably be about the only way, but they do that. I don't use to. I used to a long time ago. I used to use different kinds of scent stuff or scent blockers, blah blah blah. Honestly, y'all, I can go outside just like I am right now and take care of business. So, but anything with a perfume smell does seem to ward them off. They can smell you coming way before you get in there. So usually during hunting season, that's why I don't use stuff that's got any kind of real fancy smell to it. And I want something more natural. Now, there's a lot of times like I'll scrape back some forest floor, and I'll get into that moldy dirt, and then I'll get all that over my clothing. And that's probably about the most that I do anymore. Yep, they also used it for other things too. Yep. No, now pig scent is supposed to do one first perfume in the world, pig scent. um, I try to keep with an earthly smell more than anything. So I mean, I'll make a scrape that looks like a deer scrape, and I'll make that, and I'll get in there and I'll wiggle around in that a little bit and get that smell on me, and then I'll get up and do my stuff. I've done that multiple times. Ain't no deer or elk in the world be worth covering yourself in piss, no matter how hungry you are. When I was younger, I used to think so, but nowadays, not so much. I've got a cologne that works with the ladies every time. It's called chloroform. Not going there right now. That is a behind the scenes. I'm trying to figure out how to get this membership stuff set up and what I can do on it, what I can offer people. So I'm trying to think, because I don't have a whole lot of time to create stuff and put out. That's what my weekends, man. My weekends in between doing shows, being a daddy, and everything else I got to do is when I'm pumping out writings and I'm pumping out videos, or I'm getting things ready to drop at another time. Just because I don't have time during the week. So I am trying to figure out how to set up the membership thing and what I can provide for it for you guys on there. Well, to be honest with you, I hate to tell you, it's probably because I don't get out anymore. And I'm not a texter. I hate texting. I hate texting. I don't like talking on the phone either. I'll be honest, I hate texting. I'd rather talk on the phone than I would text, but even then, yeah, I like to meet people and talk to them face to face. I can't, you have no emotions. You have nothing on text, and I hate texting. It seems like everybody in the world is obsessed with texting, and I hate it. The only reason why I check my email so much is mainly because of work, because my locates go to my email, so I know when my locate's been back or my locates went through, so I'm waiting for it to come back. Outside of that, unless it's my audio book stuff ready, I don't even check my email a whole lot. These chats is the most I say. I don't talk. Yeah, I'm just not big on it. I'm voluntarily single. I mean, I ain't gonna lie to you. I'd love to have a warm body to come home to at night, but at the same time, I can't do it. I can't text, and that's what all that texting is nice when you're in a situation that you can't really talk on the phone or talk in person. You got to send something quietly. Text is great for that. Or you're trying to send somebody some information quietly. Text is great about that. Outside of that, I can't stand texting, and everybody and their brother just loves texting. I think hatched. I think it's hatched. I think you're hatched single. No, the reason why, both of my wives, I was married in the Marines, I was married in the Army, and both of them cheated on me while I was deployed. And my second one wanted me unalived so she can collect the money. That's the kind of crap I put up with. Someone I live with texts me when he's upstairs. I ignore it. I can't do that. Oh, that drives me so freaking nuts. I'm like, you're in the same freaking house. Just come talk to me. I understand if you're on the toilet and we're out of toilet paper, text is great. If that ain't the reason, and you're more than capable of getting up on your feet and walking and talk to me, come walk and talk to me. I prefer texting. I despise talking on the phone. I'd rather talk on the phone, man, because I get to hear the person's voice. I get to hear their emotions. You cannot get that through text. And trust me, I've had text many times taken the wrong way when they blow up on me. And I'm like, that's not what I meant. Well, that's what you sent. No, I sent a text. You can't read emotions through text. You took the text this way. So, but I'd rather, honestly, my preferred method is face to face. I love face to face. That is my preferred method. But I don't like talking on the phone very much either, honestly. And like today, man, this thing is ringing off the hook all day, and I've already wanted to throw it out the door. Yeah. I mean, I cringe when this thing goes off, and especially like my youngest daughter. Oh my gosh, she drives me nuts on texting. Instead of putting everything in one text, she has to send like 50 freaking texts. Just say one thing, and I'm like, stop. I so need that. I wonder if I can get that on my iPad. A roll of toilet paper and just slide it under the door. Hey, Griff, how's it going? Oh, they don't even know what VHS is. I mean, I remember the first time my daughters asked me what a VHS tape was. I was like, oh my God, I have failed you girls. Yeah. Cassette tape, all that stuff, man. But yeah, no, I mean, I understand we're at a technological age where computers are the whoop-de-doo thing, but I mean, I like hearing people's voices. I like interacting with them. When I've had my fill of human connections, I hide in my little hermit hole here, and I'm by myself, and it's just me and the animals, and I'm happy. I used to love talking on the phone before everyone had one attached to them. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I remember in the '80s, man. That wasn't a common thing. Don't let Edie lie to you. The last time I talked to him on the phone, we talked for almost 2 hours. We can do that. Yeah, we can definitely do that. Well, I mean, at the same time, though, Griff, you're in Oklahoma. I'm here in Missouri. Kind of hard to meet face to face in that distance, especially when my truck was broke down like it was. Which I'm still fighting power strain over that because I have a rear main seal leaking. And it's already cost me money to prove to them that this thing is leaking, and they're still fighting me on it, and it's aggravating the whole. I spent over $5,000. I mean, I spent $5,600 on this freaking engine. The damn thing's got a leak. Fix it. Why the hell do I got to jump through so many damn hoops to get you to fix something that you're responsible? I paid the extra money for you to fix. It's aggravating. But yeah, I mean, that's why, Corey. I mean, you're in Oklahoma. I'm here. One of these days we're going to be able to meet face to face, but until then, we're stuck on the phone. So I'll utilize it. I like picking your brain. I still need to get around and redo your video and the other videos too. Now I've learned how to do videos better. I'm still trying to figure out how to make animated videos with the pictures and stuff. I remember when calling 3 miles away to the next town over was a long distance call. Yep. Yeah. I remember Mom dropping us off at the arcade or a place like that and going to the cell phone, hitting collect call and go, Mom, it's me. We're done. Come get me. And then she would deny the collect call, and that's how we talked. Edie, you're just a hop skipping away from Corey. I wish I was. I'm probably about 4 or 5 hours away, I'd say, roughly. Rough estimate on the top of my head. But I remember doing that stuff back when we had payphones. Yeah. Party lines, yes. That hasn't popped up here where I could pop it up yet. It's party lines. I forgot about those. Yes. Yes, I forgot about part. I remember too when we finally got a computer in our home, and we thought, because I mean, before it was only the rich friends of mine that had computers. People like me, we didn't have money for freaking computers. And I remember I'll be on there doing something, and all of a sudden somebody will pick up the phone, and I'll lose my computer. I'm like, I'm on the computer. Yeah, I remember them days too, or I used to try to sneak around and listen in on Mom's conversations, and sometimes I was good until I started giggling. She's like, "Get off the phone! I'm on it. How long you been?" I mean, she'd get on to me sometimes until I learned how to do it just right where it wouldn't click. You'd hear that click. So I remember doing that stuff too. Oh man, very good times, Griff. Very good times. Yeah, they were big in the '80s too. Party lines were big in the '80s. Yep, I remember that stuff. I remember whenever you had a door window that went down by a button, you didn't have to roll it, and we're like, holy crap, my grandpa Steinman had one, and we thought that was the coolest thing since sliced bread. Holy crap, we got a window that didn't roll down. And we got AC in the car. Wow, we don't have to have the windows down. So we always thought it was fun to ride with Grandpa because he had, automatic roll down windows and AC in the car. We're like, wow. And I think he had a Lincoln, or was it a Mercury? He had a Lincoln or a Mercury that had the roll down windows and the AC. And man, we thought we were living life high on the hog back then when we had that stuff. Of course, I remember being in the back window of a car going down the road and laughing every time Mom hit the brakes. And I went flying forward, slamming myself up against the front seats. I'm like, do it again. And I'd rush back in the back window again. No, Rick, that was what was called a regular phone line. Party lines were shared with your neighbors. Yeah, I remember having a party line. I remember something about a party line back when AT&T was real big, and most of your home phones were AT&T up in St. Joe. I could remember a party line was a part of the package. But whenever I just remember, when Mom had two phones in the house, and we were always trying to listen in on our conversations. Oh, she'd get so pissed at us. Oh, she'd get so pissed at us. It was funny though. Man, we used to have a lot of fun. I remember riding in the back of the truck all the time. That was nothing. Nothing riding back of the truck all the time. So, you can find my books on Amazon. Look up e.d.testerman, and you'll find my books. If you click on my name, it'll take you to my author's fan page. And if you follow me on there, anytime I release a new book, it will let you know before anybody else does. Heck, it used to be Southwestern, but yes, that's what I was trying to remember. That's why I paused there for a minute. I was like, wait, I knew it was something else before. Thank you, Roxanne. That was what I was trying to remember, Southwestern Bell. But I just remember that. I remember AT&T bought them. That's why I knew I had AT&T in my head. I remember going into the Southwestern Bell stores, and they'd have like little Mickey Mouse phones. And I was trying to talk Mom into buying me a Mickey Mouse phone that was $50. And she goes, I can't afford that on my paycheck. Now I wish I could buy a phone for $50. Yeah, my grandpa used to work for Southwestern Bell. He always climbed the phone towers. So it got to the point where his feet were permanently like this because he climbed the towers so much that when he retired, his feet normally were like this from climbing up and down the phone towers. No, he worked for GE too. He worked for GE, sorry. It takes 5 hours for my house to make it to Missouri to the state line. So okay, so I'm looking at about a 7-hour trip. Never heard of those. Pacific Northwestern Bells. That must be the same equivalent to Southwestern Bell then. Now, I've never heard of Pacific Northwestern Bell. That's cool. Yeah, I mean, it's amazing what we find. Man, we have so got off the topic. It ain't even funny. At one time, you were somebody working on a phone as a phone. Yes, I remember that. Actually, they still had that in the '80s in St. Joe. I remember that actually. Um, one of my relatives, I can't remember which one it was actually one of the operators. They still had. Was it St. Joe or was it around St. Joe? One of the places still had phone operators. Yeah, I remember that. T-rail, yeah, yeah. We have so got off the rail on this one. We went talking about Black Shuck, the food, and now phones. I miss the '80s though, man. I really do. I miss the '80s. I had so much fun back then. Oh, here's another one that's related to the Black Shuck. Bargist. I'll put it in a deal here. I just happened to look over and seen this one here and went, oh, this is another black dog type deal. These are all the platforms you can find me on. I'm going to have to get around to doing some more on Rumble. Oh, yes. God, I miss. I mean, the music was great back then. People was great back then. Hey, I mean, everything was cool. You know, I remember hearing the song when it came out first time. I think we're alone now. There doesn't seem to be anyone around, or walk like an Egyptian. The Barghest or Barghest is a mythical monster black dog with large teeth and claws. Though in other cases, the name can refer to a ghost or a household elf, especially in Northumberland or Durham, such as the Claude Lad or Helton. The ghost in northern England was pronounced Geist, and the origin is thought to be of the combination of Burgeist or town ghost. In Yorkshire, England, one notable case is said to frequent a remote gorge named Troller's Gill in the Yorkshire Dales. A ballad entitled The Legend of the Troller's Gill can be found in William Hone's Everyday Book from 1830. It recounts the tale of a man who ventures forth to the horrid gill of the limestone hill in order to summon and confront the Bargeist in an act of ritual magic. The man's lifeless body is discovered soon afterwards, and inhuman marks upon his breast. There is also a story of a Bargeist entering the city of York, occasionally where, according to legend, it preys on lone travelers in the city's narrow snickleways. Furthermore, the building at number one, the Shambles, is named Bargeist. The town of Whitby is also associated with the specter. Yet another haunted area around the wastelands between Righorn and Headingley near Leeds. Oops, let me get caught up here. I don't know. I love the 80s. I literally named my daughter Tiffany. Was so hot. I had such a mad crush on Tiffany and Daisy Duke. And oh my God, I forgot her name off of Beverly Hillbillies. We go to the M3 concert every May, 80s hair metal band. Oh, yeah, I love that stuff, man. Cosmic Joe's good to see you in here, buddy. Band in 60s, Dave Clark. 5, there was the Throgs, the Birds. No, that was music. Hey, DA, how's it going? You came in right when we derailed, buddy. But yeah, I mean this Bargeist that's another one of those black dog situations. I was trying to remember if it was. I think it's Louisiana, out on the bayou. There was I think it was a single man who was going up to a bar on the bayou, and he came across this beautiful woman, and he started talking to her. Then she transformed into this ugly, hideous, demonic looking woman, and all of a sudden he was surrounded by these hellhounds. If a memory serves me right, that was Louisiana that this happened. Man, I heard that story like 20 years ago, so I'm trying to go off of memory. But I mean, that's an instance here in the United States where you have these hellhounds there as well. So I mean, it's like I was saying earlier. I mean, we could call them different things in different places. It just happens in England. The Black Shuck. It's called the Black Shuck, but they also tell you it is a. Amen to that one, DA. I know what you're talking about there, buddy, on mine. Um, I mean, well, the woman that it was a hag. If you guys don't know what the term hag means old ugly witch. So she very much was a hag, and in this story, this is what the guy called her. He said she turned it into a hag, and all of a sudden he had, if I remember right, it was 3 red-eyed, ghostly black dogs surrounding him. Now, I mean, and then you got the stories from the truckers, which I have personally seen this myself, called the black dog, and that's when you've been pushing hard. And usually, when you see the black dog, something bad happens. Well, this is very similar to what we're hearing on these hellhounds and these black shucks. This is right down that alley. Right down that alley. See, yeah. They meant to call her a bag, but it came out hag. I've personally seen the black dog. Back when I was working 2-3 shifts in a row, get a couple hours sleep, and I'm going back to do another 2. After a few days, over a little over a week of doing this stuff, eventually exhaustion got a hold of me, and I was going down 38 highway heading to Stratford back when I worked at the 76 truck stop when this happened. And I remember coming down just before I reached Elkland, and all of a sudden I seen this black dog running beside me in this cow field. Then they jumped out at me from the side of the road. And I remember hitting my brakes, and my little 85 Chevette went sliding sideways down 38 highway. It scared the holy living crap out of him. When I looked around, it wasn't nowhere there. And then, then it dawned on me. I remember the truck drivers talking about the black dog and seeing the black dog and everything bad happened from seeing this black dog. The descriptions of it fits these black shucks, these hellhounds. I mean, yet again, another instance of something like this happening. So, and this is, I've seen it with my own eyes. Oh, my last 2 were dogs. He probably got married and she just quit wearing makeup. We all turned into old hag eventually. Oh, man. But no, I mean, I've seen a black horse with red eyes, no black dog. I've never seen the horse demos. That's cool. I would love to hear that story. But I've seen the black dog. I know it exists. I mean, it used to be you heard it from truck drivers, which, I mean, yes, I worked for a truck stop, but I wasn't a truck driver. But I mean, I made $4.25 an hour back then. And man, I was working as many shifts as I can work. I was going to school full time. I mean, this incident happened in the summer. So I mean, I was working a lot of hours. I mean, I was pumping out the money. And it did. The black dog came after me one night. I was looking up the Black Shuck and came across where some describe it with curly horns, came to the mind of the Ozark Howler. Yeah, I've not seen the one with the curly horns, and that's exactly where, when you asked that earlier, Roxanne, that's exactly where my mind went to, was the Ozark Howler with the curved horns. But the Black Shuck is, man, it's different. It's an actual dog. Like I said, it's usually described as being the size of a Great Dane to a horse. But they're seen all over the world. I mean, like I said, in the Wild Hunt, Norse mythology of the Wild Hunt, they're hellhounds that follow Odin in the Wild Hunt. But you get these descriptions of these creatures through all different kinds of religions and all different cultures, all different countries. They all have a similar story about this hellhound or this black ghostly dog. It's cool. I mean, either way, it's cool. I'll pop this picture up again for you. I mean, this like I said, this is a very common depiction. This is the one that I created. Like I said, this is my creation, 100% mine. On YouTube, you can't say nothing. I'm the one that created this Friday night, I think it was. This is a very common depiction of a hellhound or a black shuck, a black dog. In fact, I think the words I used to create it was actually Black Shuck. I believe that is the words I used to create it, and it came up. I mean, it came up with some other stuff that weren't even close. This one was about the closest I can get. So, I mean, you imagine running into that thing. Oh gosh, yeah. I mean, I ain't gonna lie to you. That may even make my bunghole pucker up. Yeah, it's a dog with horns. I need to look up. I haven't seen that. I'll have to look for that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, thank you, Roxanne. Exactly, entertainment purposes only. But yeah, that's my curation. So I have every legal right to that. That is straight up. You won't find that nowhere else but my work. That is mine. So, and I'm kind of looking at it, I was like, man, that kind of make a cool little book, though. Every time I look at that picture, I'm thinking that'd make a cool book. We worked 22 hours straight installing conveyors for Coca-Cola, and was told I began to develop Tourette's syndrome. Man, Corey, I've heard that often. Yeah, I've heard that often. Um, Here in 30 minutes, let me scroll back up here. DA is going to have campfire tales on his YouTube channel called DX Machina. We'll cut a little bit early so that way everybody can have a chance to go over and catch that. He's an author. He's an amazing author. Like you do with me, go to DA Roberts on Amazon. Click his name above his book. Join his author's fan page too. But I hope to see everybody in there. If you haven't subscribed or followed him, give him a like, subscribe, follow. Let him know I said hi. You will not be disappointed in DX Machina. Take it easy, freaky. I need to get this. I'm done with that. Trying to get my stuff rearranged here. Burst of profane. Yeah. Well, that happens. I can be wide awake and I still have that issue. Why are you not popping up? Come on, daggone it. If you guys ain't following my good friend, I co-host for him, William Nighthawk on YouTube, the William Nighthawk 6630. Oh, you're popping up on the wrong screen there, Scooter. Let me get this moved over. That'd be why I wasn't seeing it. I was on the wrong screen. But go over there, give him a like, subscribe, and follow. And see ya, Corey. Take it easy. And thumbs up. Let him know I said hi. Other than that, do we got any more questions? Well, before we start winding things down. I was working at a Pepsi plant building cubicles and steadily asked for a Coke. They threatened to fire me. Oh my gosh. I don't want to say I won't want to because I'm on YouTube, but that's almost as bad as saying a certain something else during a certain time. If you guys ain't following, Robbie Rip Range is a co-host of DX Machina. He has a YouTube channel called What's Really Out There. Him and Johnny do a really good job, and Robbie will tell you that he's DX Machina Light. He also has his own, merchandise that he makes himself. If you go to Instagram to Lone Wolf Customs and you look what he's got, you email him on the email address here, rrreigns.ca@gmail, and order you some stuff through his stuff. He does some really good stuff with his work. Good friend of mine, good researcher, Jessica Jones, the Cryptid Huntress. Go to YouTube to do Cryptid Huntress. Give her a like, subscribe, and follow. You won't be disappointed. She's awesome. She is really good. My good friend and actor, Jesus Payon Jr., I'm going to be doing some more work with him soon over and we're at his place. But he has a YouTube channel called Breaking Discoveries or Breaking Bigfoot. They're really good. He doesn't post on there all the time, but when he has something good, he does post. He's also an author. He has a book that you can go on Amazon and buy called Baking Bad. And it's his recipes he used to lose weight when he was, back on, I think it was on the set of Albuquerque, if memory serves me correctly. But it's really good. before we wind down, I want to make sure that, yeah, has anybody got any questions they need answered real quick? I didn't miss any, did I? Okay, no, don't look like I missed any. But I don't know what I'm going to do a show on next week yet. I've been working a lot of hours getting that part 2 of the Pythian Castle Paranormal Investigation out. It is available on my YouTube, so 1 and 2 is available. I'm going to end up moving it over to my playlist here soon. So if you want to see any investigation type stuff I've done or docu-series I've been a part of, that's going to be, if you go to my playlist and look up, I've just brain farted it, investigations. That's where this stuff, it'll be a quick and easy way to find this stuff. So the docu-series I was with Linda Eastburn called Byways of Bigfoot's over there, and just some other stuff that I've done. So I had caught some really interesting stuff. Possibly a foggy figure in a window. That was on yesterday's drop, part 2. Yeah, you did. Thank you for that, Firewater. Yeah, it's that was all from my rear GoPro. I've still got to work on the 360 findings and the camera stuff. Sadly, I had got this new camera, and there's a mic that hooks up on top here. And I'm so used to my old camera, I forgot to turn the mic on. So sadly, it did not have any recordings of sound. So I'm either going to have to chalk that up and just not worry about that now and just post findings that I found on it, or I'm going to have to try to tie it up with my 360. If I try to tie it up with my 360, it's going to take a long time to get that part out. If you go to my Patreon, you can become a member on my Patreon for $3. Any type of videos I have or audio stuff I have, once I go through it, I put it on my Patreon. So if you're a Patreon member, you can have access to all my raw footage and audio stuff once I'm done going through it. And so I have it on there for you guys to go through, look at the raw footage of it. Sometimes you catch things that I missed. So I used to have 3 tiers. I'm not big enough for 3 tiers right now, so I've only put it down to 1, and it's $3 a month. And anytime I work on books, I put my workings on Patreon as well. So if you're a Patreon member, you get first look at my books as I'm working on them. Yeah, that thing in the window. Yeah, Firewater. That thing was. I didn't know. I was actually watching the video and I seen it. That was on my GoPro. That was on my back. I never knew it was there till I watched the video. That's why I always put a recording device, video and audio recording device on my back, because you will be surprised when you're doing investigations how much stuff you find that's lurking behind you. And we got some really cool EVPs on there that answered questions that I asked, So, there's a lot of good EVP. We caught that orb, and then that figure in the window, which the last part where I've only got the figure itself in it, and it's all really slow mo, and I lighten it up. You can really see it come out from that window pane and go back in. And that's outside on 3rd story window, or it's 3rd floor. So there's no place for something to be outside looking in the window and coming back in. Yeah, EVPs were really good. Yes, they were. They were really good. That place was popping, both from the EVP app that I have and EVPs caught on both. Part 1, part 2. Part 1 has some stuff I caught that wasn't caught in originally. I caught more stuff on that rear GoPro than I did even then. So there's even more evidence that is explained that is shown in the reveal than I had in part 1. Both of it was fun, but the problem I had, just like it, is for some reason, I don't know why it does this every single time I do a paranormal investigation. It shuts the night vision off on that freaking GoPro. I can do a cryptid investigation and the night vision works every time. every single time I do a paranormal, it shuts that device off and it turns the night vision off every single time. Yes. Yes, and not piss it off. That was the other thing too. He had to sign a waiver. I couldn't, so you couldn't provoke. I don't like to provoke on a paranormal investigation. I know a lot of people do. I try not to provoke. I'll provoke if I have no other choice but to provoke, but I try not to provoke. Just because some really bad stuff can happen to either you or the owners of that establishment when you provoke. So provoking for me is a last effort deal. I don't like to provoke. But that's just me. That's my style of paranormal investigations. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, I try to be. You'd be surprised on how much more activity you get when you're polite and respectful than you do when you're provoking or being nasty all the time. And I look at the paranormal investigation of the Shade Beaver Bar and Grill. That's on my playlist that DA and his family and I did together. We were very respectful, man. We was catching EVPs all night long. When you're respectful, you're more apt to get stuff. And I don't remember if it was the first one. Yeah, I think it was part one where the little boy was playing with me all the time. He was wanting me to run, and he was telling me his rocking horse's name, and he didn't want me to play with that stuff, or he didn't want me to move it. He followed me from one room to the next, and I was like, okay, we're going to go over here, and he's like, yes. This little boy, this little spirit boy, this ghostly boy was following me around. Yes, it did. Yes, he didn't want me to put the ball up, and you'll catch it, where it blinks. It played with that ball, and that's just a cat toy. That's literally a cat toy. I can push the button to turn on and push the button to turn off. And something as cheap as that, you'll be surprised how often that works in a paranormal investigation. It works often. In fact, I'll show you. I'll show you that. I've got that ball right over here. I've got my camera case out because I'm charging stuff up. Yep. This little ball right here was the one that was talking about. And I push a button and it lights up for 20 seconds, then goes off. And then if you just bump it, it lights up again. And honestly, that is a very effective tool. A very effective tool. So, that little boy, me, had a lot of reactions. And you'll hear my friend go, man, he really likes you. Because, he was interacting with me so much. So, that's, and anytime I do an investigation, I'm going to put that out there for everybody. So, but, guys, let's go ahead and wind her down. I got a poem that I wrote that I like to read at the end of this show. Like I said, I see you guys over at DX Machina. I really do. Lucent. Okay, so I'm glad you brought that up, Firewater. The reason why I don't use Lucent flashlights is because too many variables can set it off. It's not always paranormal that sets it off. So it can give you a very wrong reading. That's why I don't use the loose flashlights. That's why I use this stuff. So this takes place of the loose flashlight. And this is way more, sorry, this is way more accurate than a loose flashlight. But a loose flashlight, too many variables on it can cause it to go off. It's effective, but not as effective as people would think. There comes a time when the warrior falls. They leave this realm and will be missed by all. Raise a glass and keep them in your heart. They have kept Israel safe and performed their part. Look to your veterans, your active duty, your MTs, and the blue line. What they do or have done was walk that fine line. When the demon comes calling on your soul, they will be there to save us all. Hold them in your prayers, for they are deserving. They all have served or are serving. Everybody, thank you for coming in tonight. To my new subscribers, thank you so much. I appreciate every single one of you guys, from my OGs up to the new. I mean, you guys are awesome. You make this what it is. And I appreciate this subject tonight was actually from one of you followers, so one of you subscribers. So I like doing that stuff. Like I said, I haven't got figured out what I'm doing next week. Friday, I should have the second of my realistic dreams that I've had. I should have that available to release at midnight Friday night. I finally finished up all the artwork that I needed to do it. The writing and the editing is done on it, so now I just got to stitch everything together and add sound to it and stitch up the story to the pictures, and I'll have that done. So until next week, y'all, thank you so much for coming in. Like, subscribe, and share. Hey, Lene, how's it going? It's good to see you. How you doing? Give a like, subscribe, and a follow on here. Let people know, and let's build this up. Let's learn stuff together. This is fun, and I'm truly thankful for every single one of you guys. So until next week, everybody, peace, love, and blessings to you all.